What are you
like
talking about,
live
TiVo?
TV. Yeah, they don't have TiVo, buddy. This was in our contract.
Oh crap, man! If you just watch McConaughey's face when Cruz is making that speech, it's priceless, priceless.
And it's the best when he throws literally the TiVo box at the missile, and he does the little arm. I got you, tugboat.
Oh, dude, one of
All
the
right.
things
Anyway,
on the clip that I saw when he's like, "Well, how's the adopted kid doing?" Well,
at least you get
I'm
to pick
stuck.
yours.
I'm stuck.
Stuck with mine. It shows the kid with the Down syndrome. Dude, that movie is so offensive. It would never get made. At least you get to pick yours. Stuck with
I'm
mine.
stuck with mine. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. We're recording, so let's.
Well,
Oh.
let's not talk about anything. Jesus Christ, we've been recording for a minute and a half. Okay, you need to cut all that.
Oh man, I'll probably keep most of it in there, but I gotta wipe my tears away, dude.
Anyway,
All right.
welcome to the podcast. We are the Average Jives. That's one of the most ridiculous cold opens I think we've had.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Zach will keep. My name is Jaaron. I'm here with my good friend Zach. Zach, say something to take it away from
everybody.
me.
Hi, everybody. It's Zach Sokol here.
Zach and I are high school friends from way back when. And we used to talk on the phone for an hour all about movies. And Zach one day just decided, hey, why don't we do a podcast? So this is our podcast where we discuss, debate, and ultimately rank movies of a particular category. This is the first episode of season 2. Zach and I are both crying from our cold open. But we do not claim to be professional moviegoers. We don't claim to be professional anything, actually, which makes us a couple of average jives. And that's the title. And this week we have the category of sequels. So I'm going to throw it to Zach because I can't speak anymore.
Oh, shit. All right, I'll do it. Everybody, thanks for joining us for season 2, season premiere right here. I will lead off with the best sequel of all time. It's not the best. I'm just saying. This is the first movie on my list I'm introducing. The Dark Knight from 2008. It was directed by Christopher Nolan. Probably easily, you would probably agree, Jaaron, a top 5 best directors of the 21st century. He actually won the Best Director Oscar for Oppenheimer back in the 2024 Academy Awards or something. I think that's right.
22.
I thought it was earlier. I thought it's more recent, but it's whatever. It's all right. He also wrote the screenplay along with his brother.
This is our concern, dude.
Yeah, his brother Jonathan Nolan, and it's based on the comic book by Bob Kane. It's starring Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, rest in peace, Michael Caine, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Gary Oldman, Aaron. Is it Eckhart? Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Aaron Eckhart, yes sir.
Yeah, and then also Morgan Freeman. It is the tale of Batman continues as he saves Gotham City's soul from the anarchist and menacing Joker. Your boy Roger Ebert said that alongside Iron Man, The Dark Knight had redefined the potential of superhero films by combining comic book tropes with real world events. Your boy Raj liked it a lot.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. All right. And sequels, I'm going to start off with one we've already discussed before. Probably the winner of, not that we win and lose these lists, but probably the winner of it is Godfather 2. It came out in 1974. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Like I said, we've already done this. So starring Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Robert Duvall, Diane Keaton, John Cazale. Written by Francis and based upon the novel by Mario Puzo. Michael Corleone expands the Corleone organization, trying to be legitimate, and also dives into the early life of Don Corleone as he's brought to light, played by Robert De Niro. Roger Roger Ebert
Tongue tied. It's all right.
gave it 4 out of 4 stars. More than ever, I'm convinced the music is instrumental to the power and the emotional effect. Is also one of his best films. And gave a sticker after he gave it 2.5 stars. For Oscars, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Writing, Art and Set Direction, and Best Music. And we will dive deeper into this movie, probably not too much, after we get into the rankings.
Yeah, what did it win? 7 total, I think.
Yes, sir.
7. Okay, yeah. Good, good, good. Well,
It's
all
good.
right.
It's good.
It's all right. Next on my list is The Empire Strikes Back. Came out in 1980. It's directed by Irvin Kushner. I really He really didn't have a lot of quality directing credits, but he did play the role of Zebedee in your boy Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ, and that was probably the most interesting piece of information I found on him, actually, after directing this. It is obviously the sequel to the Star Wars A New Hope, which was written by George Lucas, but Lee Brackett wrote the first adaptation of the script, but was later rewritten by Raiders of the Lost Ark screenwriter and the Big Chill director Lawrence Kasdan. It's starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and the voice of James Earl Jones as Darth Vader and Frank Oz as Yoda. The 5th episode of the Star Wars saga, to which Luke Skywalker is trained to be a Jedi and confronts Darth Vader. And this is the writing from the Washington Post. Gary Arnold found the darker undercurrents and greater narrative scale interesting because it created more dramatic threads to explore. The New Yorker's critic, David Denby, argued it was more spectacular than the original, but it lacked its camp style. I don't know what that means, but
Campy. Camp.
camp.
Maybe they just were around a fire. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what people mean?
The next one on my list, we're going to throw it back to 1991 and Terminator 2. Just arguably one of the best sequels of all time. That's exactly what we're talking about here
Yeah, that's why it's on the list.
today. So
Yes.
we'll see. Written and directed by James Cameron. Also, William Worker is a writing credit. He did T1, T2, Judge Dredd, Live Free or Die Hard, 13th Warrior, which is a controversial film.
I like it.
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Edward Furlong, which is one of our favorites from a different movie, Robert Patrick, and is about a cyborg from the future is sent back in order to protect the leader of a future leader and the resistance against AI overtake of human civilization. And maybe we can talk about this in a few years. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars, and it had 4 Oscar wins: Best Sound, Best Effects, Best Makeup, Best Cinematography, and then 1 Oscar nom for Best Editing. And I would like to note that was not a single nomination or win for James Cameron himself. Just
that came later on.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later.
You think we will? I don't know. I don't know if we will.
Well, who knows?
Shit.
And what's your next movie, Zach?
Okay, my next movie is For a Few Dollars More. Came out in 1965, directed by Sergio Leone, and this was one of the 3 spaghetti westerns featuring the man with no name, but that man did have a name, and his name was Clint Eastwood. But it's Sergio Leone also directed probably the most disappointing, overhyped, overrated movies I've ever seen before, and that's Once Upon a Time in America. I fucking hated that movie when I watched it. Pretty sure I text you blaming you for everything that was wrong with it. So
it's not my fault, Zach.
You've seen
it. Had nothing to do with that production.
Oh man, I thought you've seen it though, haven't you?
I actually have not.
Oh damn, man! Why the fuck
I
did I
know.
text you
I
then?
know.
Whatever.
I
It's
know. It's
fine.
something I should watch and be disappointed in, but I haven't yet.
Maybe you'll see something I didn't, or maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't know. People say it's a masterpiece, but I didn't see it the first time I watched it. Uh, Anywho, the original screenplay was written by Luciano
Whoa, whoa,
Vincenzito.
whoa. Did you say you didn't see it the first time you watched it?
Maybe I didn't see what was special about it the first time I watched
Oh,
it.
right, 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 right.
You
Okay.
know, I'm slow, in my brain. So.
Okay, keep going.
All right. Yeah, original screenplay was written by Luciano Vincenzito, and it was co-written by Sergio Leone, starring Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef. Obviously, there were a lot of other performers in this movie, but I would fucking butcher their names, so I'll just leave it to Eastwood and Van Cleef. And
Yeah, don't do that.
this description is from IMDb. It's just about two bounty hunters with similar intentions but different motivations. They team up to take down a psychotic Mexican outlaw before he and his gang carry out an audacious bank robbery. This is another review from your boy Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times. He described the film as one great old Western cliche after another and said it is composed of situations and not plots, but nonetheless, he found it quote unquote delicious.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, this is the first time I watched the movie,
This is only the second time for me, but
and that's a pretty accurate description.
yeah, totally,
We'll
totally.
we'll get we'll get into it when we talk about the films. But yeah, that's it was entertaining, but it was one cowboy movie after another cowboy movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one here is a controversial The Color of Money, released in 1986, directed by Martin Scorsese. Again, we've already covered this movie, so I won't go too deep into it. Walter Tevis wrote the novel and was written by Richard Price Wire and also Martin Scorsese, starring Tom Cruise, Paul Newman, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, which is my favorite name to say in all of Hollywood. It's about Fast Eddie Felson, who reprises his role by, or I'm sorry,
Yeah, he reprises it. It's all right. You can say
he
that.
reprises his
It's
role.
accurate.
Paul Newman takes on a young, talented pool player and tries to teach him the ways of being a hustler. Roger Ebert sadly gave this movie 2.5 stars, and he said, "If this movie had been directed by someone else, I might have thought differently, but because I might not have expected so much." Color of Money is directed by Martin Scorsese, the most exciting American director working, and it is not an exciting film, which heartbreaking. This is one of my favorite films. It did win one Oscar, Paul Newman for leading director, which again we could talk
hmm
about later. It's very controversial. Three more nominations: Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio for um, supporting actress, screenplay, and art direction. And Zach and I are going to talk about how this probably isn't a sequel, but he made me put it on the list for
It
sequels.
is a
So we'll talk.
sequel. Just because
We'll talk
Rob
about that
doesn't.
later. We'll talk about it later.
Well, it's on the list because it's a sequel.
Okay.
You already said he
What
reprised his role. That's it. That's as simple as that. There's
Zach, what's your next film?
there's there's no gray area there. End of discussion.
There is gray. There is gray.
Just because Roger Ebert says it doesn't mean that it's so. But anyway, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is the next movie on my list from 1989. I know it's the third installment of the Indiana Jones series, but technically it's the sequel to Raiders because Temple of Doom occurred chronologically prior to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it was directed by Steven Spielberg, as basically everyone is aware, also directed Raiders of the Lost Ark to great critical and commercial success. But he also directed Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which many consider his worst movie. It was based on the story by George Lucas, and the screenplay was written by Jeffrey Boehm, I believe, who wrote another sequel on our list, Lethal Weapon 2, but also Lethal Weapon 3. So
Well, we can also debate that because Shane Black wrote every Lethal Weapon, but
he didn't, but that's all right. He only. Man, have you not done the research? Come on, Jaaron. You're better than that. Anyway,
This is our
well,
concern, dude.
this is our concern, dude. It's starring Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, and two Raiders alums, Delome Elliott and John Rhys Davies. It's also starring Allison Doody, along with Julian Glover, who meets a very satisfying demise in the HBO series Game of Thrones, as well as River Phoenix, who plays the young Indiana Jones. The storyline for this movie is Indiana Jones sets off on an adventure to find the Cup of Christ, known as the Holy Grail, with his Grail-obsessed father tagging along for the wild ride. And good old Peter Travers of the Rolling Stones remarked this film was the wildest and wittiest indie of them all.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable watch.
It is. It's fun.
It's just fun. It's fun. Yeah. Speaking of Shane Black, the next movie on my list, Lethal Weapon 2, released in 1989, directed by Richard Donner, who one of our favorites, also directed Maverick, Conspiracy Theory, Goonies, The Omen might make an appearance next week. Written by, like I said, Shane Black. Also wrote Nice Guys, which is the latest rewatchables. Shout out to my boy Chris Ryan.
That's a good movie.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
One of our
and
favorites.
it I, that needs to get on some list. I don't know what list it's going to be on, but it's got to be on some list.
Yeah.
Stars Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci, outside of his fucking mind, Joss Ackland, and Patsy Kensit. And it is about Riggs and Murtaugh track down and discover a South American criminal overlord and attempt to take them down, despite diplomatic immunity.
Very good. I like that.
Thank you. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars, saying it is that rarity, a sequel with the most and some of the best qualities of the original. And again, we're going to talk about everything once we get into the rankings, but it was nominated for just one Oscar, Best Effects / Sound Effects. It did not win. This is a buddy cop at its finest.
Yes, it is.
All right, Zach, give me your last movie.
Is it my last? Yes, it is. Shit. Sorry, man. I didn't keep count. Didn't keep track. But
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my next movie is another Mel Gibson movie, The Road Warrior from
Oh, weird.
1981. Yeah, it was directed by George Miller. Not only directed the other Mad Max films, but also directed a movie about a cute little pig who talks called Babe, Pig in the City. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Jaaron.
I cannot believe he also directed that film.
I know, it was shocking, but I had to put it on the. But screenplay credits include Terry Hayes, Brian Hannon, and George Miller himself. The movie starring Mel Gibson, Bruce Spence, and Michael Preston. The road warrior, Mad Max, roams the post-apocalyptic Australian countryside when he stumbles upon an isolated fuel station surrounded and under attack by maniacs. Max then volunteers to help the desperate crew transport its fuel out of the wasteland. And this is a nice little review from the New York Times. Vincent Candy, he wrote, "Never has a film's vision of post-nuclear Holocaust world seemed quite as desolate and as brutal, or as action-packed and sometimes as funny in George Miller's apocalyptic The Road Warrior, an extravagant film fantasy that looks like a sadomasochistic. I didn't get that right. I might have to edit that.
No, it's not. That's okay.
Comic book come to life.
Yeah, famously John Candy's cousin.
Oh shit! Really?
No, not at all.
Can
but
be.
I thought it'd be funny.
Can be. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, and then my last feature film for the sequels pod, Back to the Future 2, released in 1989, directed by Robert Zemeckis, who has 39 films, most of which are great. Some of the better ones that I've listed here: Flight, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Contact. Yes, that's right. And the first Back to the Future, written also by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, who did the screenplay for Back to the Future 1, 2, 3. 3 will not be talking about. Starring Michael J. Fox, Elizabeth Shue, yes, Christopher Lloyd, Tom Wilson as Biff, and Leah Thompson. It is about Marty and Doc. I can't read my writing. But they go back to 19. They go back into the future of 2015 in order to save Marty's son from jail, but ended up having to go once again back to travel to 1955 in order to rewrite history. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars, saying it's an exercise in goofiness that actually leads back to the first Back to the Future, which few films are able to do. Is nominated for Best Visual Effects, and that is it, which is crazy because Quentin Tarantino says this is one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
those unfamiliar with the format of the pod, Zach and I have now listed and reviewed the 5 films we've each picked in the sequels category. And now we will debate and ultimately rank our top 10 and sometimes agree, sometimes not agree on the list. And I'm going to go first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I'm going to say a few dollars more at number 10.
That's all right because that's where I got it too.
Yeah, I fucking figured.
I mean, it's the movie's really entertaining, fun to watch. We mentioned that, and I think Sergio Leone told a hell of a story, but a lot of it's kind of ridiculous. Kind of reminds me of
Spaghetti Western.
yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of The Mask of Zorro. It's freaking entertaining, action packed soap opera with a great score, pretty much. But this one,
That
if you say The Color of Money doesn't fit the list, this one fits the list less because there's
Well, no,
barely
this is a part of a trilogy,
yeah.
Zachariah.
Well, yeah, but it's still. Yeah, I mean, it still doesn't.
But they were
It fits
released
less
in
than The Color of
succession.
Money.
Okay, that's we're gonna get to Color of Money here soon.
No, dude, let's do it. I got it far back, so
Well, I have a Road Warrior 9.
hmm.
Hmm.
You haven't seen the first one, have you?
I hadn't seen any of them until this one.
Oh, you saw Fury Road. You just haven't seen any of the. You haven't seen any of the Mel Gibson ones, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, Fury Road. We talked about it on a previous pod. Not my cup of tea. Not my pig. Not my farm. It's fine.
It
I like realism. None of this is real. This is all.
wasn't CGI. I promise you that. At least the
Oh,
fucking cars are
I know
real.
that. But this is an apocalyptic future set in a time that has already happened in real time. So they didn't get that right.
Okay, don't start with that because you want to talk about Back to the Future, I guess. How
No,
accurate was that?
no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well,
You
they
can't
almost
really
got the World
you
Series
can't
right.
dog on the Road Warrior without dogging on Back to the Future in that case.
Okay, I will. I'll
Mm.
secede that. I had Road Warrior 9 just because, like I said, not my cup of tea. Entertaining in the sense that action packed. There's not a lot of plot, not a lot of dialogue. I have it at 9.
It's definitely way. Yeah, we could have put it in under the action territory more, but the
Okay,
action
sounds like you're
genre.
not disagreeing with Road Warrior 9.
Well, I have
Perfect.
it at 5, so I am disagreeing with you. So,
Okay, make your case, sir.
well, it's considered. Yeah, I mean, once I started at 5, these are the movies I thought these were the ones that were better than the originals. Not only was
Well,
I
okay,
impressed with
and
the
this
practical, well, I mean, I was
no, this
impressed
is
with the
a recurring argument that you and I
yeah,
have on these pods. Is it a better movie or is it someone we like? And we never decided to differentiate. Are we going on the better movies or the better sequels, which are superior to their original?
yeah. I mean,
So again, I've never seen the original, so I couldn't make that argument. But
yeah,
in the list that we have, I believe there are 8 better films here.
yeah. I mean, I was the practical effects were incredible, and it surprised
Sure.
how I was surprised how much recognition it got doing the research. George Miller considered his favorite Mad Max, so did Mel Gibson. Several media outlets, and I also know it's a sequels episode, but the Rolling Stones called it the greatest action movie of all time. I know
Whoa.
James Cameron cited this movie as one of his influences for the Terminator movies. So,
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll revisit it. Maybe
Revisit
I
it.
Hey,
you just
maybe
hang
I
up
need
to
to
rewatch.
rewatch it. It's fine.
I
I
mean, I'm
mean, if
not.
James Cameron's going to say that, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, let's. I'm going to put an asterisk
that's.
by that right now. What I had at 8 was Color Money.
I mean, yeah, shit. I had it at 9, so
Of course, you fucking did.
I'm just saying, man.
Okay, we're
The
going to
way I
have this
just
conversation now.
yeah,
For the record, I don't believe this is a sequel in the traditional sense of a sequel.
which
Zach
I
made me put it on my list.
that's because you loved it.
I
I
do. It's
couldn't
it's one
do
of my
that.
favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite
Absolutely.
Scorsese movies. This is a movie I rewatch at least 4 times a year. It's entertaining as hell. Like Roger Ebert said, it's not that exciting. There are a couple of great shots within it. But yes, Paul Newman reprises his role as Fast Eddie Felson, but it has nothing to do with the original quote unquote movie, The Hustler. It was released 30 years later. They barely talk about Fast Eddie Felson's career before this. He has one throwaway line where, yeah, it was really over for me before it even began. And that's literally over. And then the one pool hall manager was like, oh, being staked by Fast Eddie Felson, who are you?
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. So there's no relation to the previous film of The Hustler. So I don't really consider it a sequel.
I mean, those aren't bad points. You know what I mean?
They're
I get
actually
where you're
really
coming
great
from.
points.
I mean, I mean, as long as Paul Newman's Fast Eddie Felson and he plays pool, then it's a fucking sequel. But I
Okay.
totally, I get it. Like,
Wow. I had
I'm
all those good points, and then you just said his name.
you just you better edit that out.
Cut that, cut that, cut that,
Cut
cut
that,
that.
cut that. Oh, I mean, dude, yeah, I definitely get
Again,
what you're.
one of
Yeah,
my
I get what you're
I,
saying. Yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies, but I have really never considered it the sequel. I agree it's a continuation.
Hmm.
Can I say that?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
But you look at all these other films, obviously Michael Corleone, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Corleone,
Corleone.
you
Corleone.
know, Empire obviously
Yeah.
continues the story.
Yep.
T2, Schwarzenegger plays a different character, but kind of the
It's
same
close. It's
one.
close enough. Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
through Back to the Future, literally picks up right where the first one started.
Yep. Yep.
Dark Knight, that's a different kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, sure. Lethal Weapon,
Close enough. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think Lethal Weapon is because other than Murtaugh's family and having Gibson and Glover, there's
Yeah, but they're playing the exact same roles, and they have the same jobs, and they're fine. I mean, it's a buddy cop movie.
yeah.
So, like, other
I
than
just think
that,
yeah. I mean, if you were gonna say Color of Money was far, but I mean, I don't know
again, if
because
we're doing the better movies, I would have put Color Money way higher than I had it at 8. But because I don't believe it's an actual sequel, I will agree at 9, which I think you would want to put Road Warrior at 8 then.
hmm.
That's a long pause.
Stop
It's a long pause.
breathing into the mic. Well, let's keep going. Keep that asterisk there.
Okay.
See
All
what
right.
else you got.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, what did you have at 8 then?
I had Back to the Future Part Two.
What the fuck are we doing on this podcast?
And here can we'll see. Let me explain this here.
Okay, please.
I do actually really enjoy this movie from a rewatchable standpoint. If it was on TV, I'd keep watching it. You know, my critique for this has a lot of quote unquote echoes from the first. Like the diner hoverboard scene is borderline a shot for shot from the first. And then having to go back to 1955 and actually shoot footage from the original movie, like, I don't know, it just kind of comes off as lazy, I guess. Like,
To me, you're making arguments as to why it's a better sequel than a lot of these.
You think inserting scenes from the first movie into another movie isn't like
Yeah,
kind of lazy?
it's a callback, Zach. That's what they call it in the biz.
The biz, showbiz.
It's a callback because when you break down sequels, again, we had to only do 10. There are a lot of other sequels, obviously, in the history of film, but a lot of times it's pretty enjoyable to bring something back. You're talking about
Not entire
Halloween 2,
scenes,
probably
but
not
like
the best.
little
Scream 2,
winks and shit,
but
but
yeah,
not.
you give a wink, you give a callback, you try to relate it to the original. This movie actually puts the original in the sequel.
Yeah, I know. That's my issue with it. For the pod, I like the movie. I'm not like, since we're having to rank them, that was my justification for putting it at 8. Was too many echoes, not enough creativity, don't you're not changing it up. You're having to go back to 85. And you mentioned the other day about how one bed would alter the rest of the games in the almanac. Like it just,
Yeah. No, okay.
or
For
what
those
did you
who
say
weren't
again?
privy, between Zach and I's text messages, I did make that point to where if Biff were to make one bet on a game, then that would change the winner of that game, the line for
Yeah.
future betting, and only sports betting. I'm going to say only sports betting. So then whoever won that game, the line would change because he bet so much money on it. And that's how sports betting works. So if
Yep.
somebody
Yep.
bets on it, the line goes down and so on and so forth. So it would change every time he would bet on something, the line would move and Vegas would say, hey, and then we could talk about casino later, well, whatever. And so in that one regard, yeah, it would change the entire movie. But we're talking about sequels.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
picks up right where the first one left off, literally, except with a different character. Obviously, Elizabeth Shue, not in it at the beginning. Sad.
Just we'll get over it. We'll get over it.
Yeah. We could talk about Cocktail another day. I had Back to the Future 2 at 4.
I figured you had it pretty high because Tarantino liked it so much.
That's
Figures.
not why, Zach. Zach, I have my own brain. I have my own thoughts.
That's true. That's true. I like to bust your chops, but
I haven't eaten pork chops since 1958 or 2013 or something.
damn, they're so good. They're so good.
Okay, wait. So you had Road Warrior at 4.
I had a 5. Road Warrior was at 5.
Now he's lying on the pod, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure I said 5.
Pretty sure you didn't. And then, okay, so Color Money at 9 with an asterisk. Tell me what you had at 7.
I had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay, we're not far off there.
Where'd you have it?
I had at 6,
No shit.
which is kind of funny because I had Lethal Weapon at 7.
Damn, dude. I would have figured you would have had that much higher.
I know, I know. I'm placating to the crowd. I'm placating to you a little bit. I
Don't
love
do
that
that,
movie.
bro. You said you
Love
had your
Shane
own
Black.
brain. You
It's
said you had your own brain.
ridiculous. It is an absolutely ridiculous movie.
What about it other than the typical action ridiculousness?
Yeah, no, that's my argument for it.
Oh, it's just the
It's just
standard action movie.
it's the
Yeah.
chemistry between Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Like when he's sitting on the toilet,
I think they got
just like
fucking great chemistry.
so do I. I agree. I would have had it higher. Again, for those listeners who have listened to multiple pods, thank you very much. You will know that I make 5, 6,
So,
27 different lists
for sure.
as we do this. And I originally had it at 3, brought it
Oh
down.
shit, bro.
Hey,
Damn.
hey, th- I do my due diligence, okay? It's entertaining. The chemistry is off the charts. Love Shane Black.
Hmm.
Love the writing.
Yep.
It's a little cliche,
It is. You're right.
right? Even the first one, you see Walter White's brother-in-law, and it's like, oh, wow, this is a great movie. It's really not. It's not a great movie. It's not a very well done movie. It is a very entertaining movie.
Damn, man, I think it's incredible. I had it at 4, so
Cheese and crepes. Okay.
like I said, once
Well,
I got to 5, I think Lethal Weapon is better than Lethal Weapon 1. So once I got to 5, that's how I rated them.
wow.
Everybody
Okay.
has their own rating process.
Damn it. I know. We should almost kind of talk about it a little bit before the pod so we don't run into this because I wanted it high, brought it down because I thought you would because I had Indy at 6, Lethal at 7, and then we can discuss the top 5 after this. But as it sits right now, a few dollars more at 10, maybe Color Money at 9, maybe Road Warrior at 8.
How would you feel about Road Warrior at 8, Back to the Future at 6, and then we'll
And then
keep
Lethal.
Indiana Jones at 7?
Okay, love it.
Yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm totally okay with that. But
Back to the Future at 6, Indy at 7, Road Warrior 8, Color of Money at 9. Damn it. Few dollars more at 10.
damn it.
Okay. I think we're both happy. You know, the best negotiation is when both parties are disappointed. So I think that's in the definition, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, right, right.
Number 5, Dark Knight.
Ooh, out, Jaaron, come on, man.
Comic book movies.
I know, but dude, with how much. Yeah, I know it's a comic book movie, but it has. I thought you would love this movie because of how many liberties and influence the movie Heat had on, like, Christopher Nolan's approach to making this movie.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. I'm
Nolan
getting to
six. I
there.
mean, he
I'm
kind
getting to
of.
there. The
Yeah.
first scene, obviously, many homages to my favorite movie, Heat. Not The Heat with Sandra Bullock. Heat, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. We can go on, and I would, but Zach won't let me. But,
Just say the whole cast.
but Val Kilmer,
Dude. Right in
Danny
the middle of a
Trejo.
podcast. Yeah,
So
you
anyway,
just keep going.
but
Remember Tom Sizemore was in that?
Top Source wasn't that.
Yeah.
You know, for me,
The
the action
action
is the
is the
juice,
juice. I'm in.
and he blinks 1,700 times.
I roll with you, Jaren. Whatever you want, man.
I roll with you, whatever you want. And then they just look at Johnny Trejo, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever, man." Disappointing me.
Yeah.
And Heat 2 is coming up soon. I'm going to put a plug in for that. Heat
Yeah.
2, starting pre-production. Very excited to see how that movie takes
Yeah.
away from the novel of which Michael Mann wrote. I've read the novel, love the movie. We'll see how Leo and Christian Bale and Elvis can do.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Yep.
So I had it a 5. Where might you have the Dark Knight?
Well, shit, dude. I didn't think you'd have it that high. I had it at 2, and
Two?
the whole reason I put it at 2 was because, one, I think it's an incredible movie, greatest comic book movie ever, one of the best movies probably from 2000 to 2010. But
Okay. I
I
agree.
just I like the. I mean, he tried to make it as authentic as possible for a comic book movie, and I remember even Dad was saying.
Fantastic.
Dad were walking out of the theater when we saw it, and Dad was like, "What made it such a good comic book movie was like you completely forgot you were watching a comic book movie
Right.
halfway
It
through."
doesn't seem like a comic movie.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Christopher Nolan, right?
yeah,
I mean,
right, right.
he's not going to do a comic book movie like the comic book movies right now. He's
Hmm.
going to make it into an actual film.
Yeah,
The first scene, like I've mentioned, awesome. The one with Maggie Gyllenhaal, where he, describes how he got his scars in multiple different scenes and their
right.
different stories,
Hmm.
plays into it. Obviously, Heath Ledger posthumously winning the Academy Award, rightfully so.
Yep.
Played a great character.
One of the
It
best
is arguably
performances.
one of the best movies since 2010.
Yeah.
But this is a sequel movie,
Hmm.
Zach.
Yeah.
And there are two, and I would argue three, that rightfully should be ranked above this.
You think so, huh? Huh.
I'm going to make my case.
Okay. Uh.
So now I had Back to the Future at 4, right above
Right.
Dark Knight. Again, again, we can have the argument. Are we talking about better movies or are we talking about better sequels? Are
Well,
we
me,
talking
I mean,
about movies that we enjoyed more?
no, I mean, it's my argument was it is what it is. That's how I rated it. That's my only critique. I didn't have a problem with the movie itself. I just freaking I thought
Okay, so
compared to the rest of the movies, that was like the laziest. It wasn't a bad movie, but as far as creativity, and again, like I was saying, using entire shots and scenes from the first one isn't a wink. It's just like, yeah,
lazy is what you said.
yeah, I said
Lazy.
laziness, yeah, and
Right.
again loved it. Don't hate it. Actually, don't hate any of the movies on these lists. Any of the movies
No,
on
of
the
course not.
list, but like we were,
So,
because we've talked about it in other episodes where it's like, I mean, shit, man. What was that '90s pod? Boys in the Hood is a freaking terrific movie, but
sure.
somebody's got to be at 8, so that's why I had it
Right.
at 8. Yeah, so
I, I completely agree. I understand. So, if we put Back to the Future at 6, what did you have at 5? You had Road Warrior at 5.
yeah, and we decided on
It's
Road Warrior
ridiculous.
at 8.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Um,
I get what you're saying about the Road Warrior. I still think it should be higher, but you think Back to the Future 2 should be higher. So we have to compromise in this thing.
yeah,
So,
we agree to disagree. This is part of the pod, people.
dude, no, you're wrong. It's
We're not agreeing to disagree. You are wrong, sir.
oh man,
Well, then, process of elimination. Are we going to put Lethal Weapon at 5 or
I'm okay with putting
Dark Knight
Lethal
at
Weapon
5?
at 5. Yeah.
Lethal Weapon's at 5. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, again, process of elimination. We're going to have to put Dark Knight at 4 because I will not allow anything else.
Dude, see, oh man, I'm just so surprised, Jaaron. I know you don't like comic book movies, but like, shit.
2? Okay.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
both know what's at number 1.
but
But
yeah,
for
well,
you to
let's talk
put
about that a little bit.
Terminator 2 and Empire Strikes Back below Dark Knight, a little concerning
Well,
for
I'm all
me.
right with putting T2 at 2, but I don't know, man. Freaking, you said Dark Knight at 4.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let me ask, what about Empire Strikes Back? What do you?
What about Bob, Zach?
I'll be
Which
quiet.
we'll probably never talk about. But
I'll be peace.
okay, we know what's going on at 1. So now we're in a debate at 2 and 3. You had Dark Knight at 2.
Hmm.
I understand that. What's your case for it at 3? Because it's not going to number 2.
Well, everything I said, it's a very well written. It's, I mean, let's look at the cast. The cast alone, it's Christopher Nolan. Like I said, it's an authentic comic book movie. Yes, it's
Christopher Nolan
ridiculous.
is not in the cast, Zach.
I said, well, dude, you get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm throwing down. But
Okay, so what did you have at 3 then?
T2 Terminator,
So you had Empire at 5
I had it at 6.
or at 6?
I don't think it's. Yeah, I mean, I almost think it's too dark. Like the title kind of gives it away that the bad guys are obviously going to hit back pretty hard. But I don't know. It goes like almost too dark compared to Episode 4, A New Hope. That was my. I
Yeah.
mean, a little more uplifting moments, and other than like, but on the other hand, it does have one of the most shocking moments in cinema, as well as it
Right?
introduces the Darth Vader theme from John Williams.
No!
I mean,
No!
you know it to be true.
And then one of the most misquoted lines.
Which one's that one?
It's not "I am your father." It's not Luke. "I am your father."
Yeah, it is. I am your father.
No, no, it's not.
It is.
It's "I'm your father."
That's what I'm
Oh,
your father. Yeah. No, Luke.
I
I am your father. No, shit. Dude, I'm getting my fucking phone out.
I'm getting fucking HBO Max pulled up.
Is it on HBO Max?
Goddamn right it is. Okay, but like in the context of movies and history of movies and where cinema was and how it progressed,
Hmm.
I would have to argue, and I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. You're probably
Yeah,
a bigger Star Wars fan than I am, but I understand the historical significance of the movies. And Empire Strikes Back, one of again, this is what we're debating upon. So
yeah,
I'll say one of the best sequels of all time. Obviously, it is. It's on our list, but it it does have that big reveal, which Lucas has gone on record saying he fucking made it up, like kind of on the fly, which is
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I would be happy with it at 3, but for you to have Dark Knight at 2, that means you're pushing another movie down.
hmm, hmm.
Is right. Because
Well,
I'd love to hear your justification.
it's like I said, I just don't. Other than the the duel between Luke and Darth Vader, I as as far back as I can remember watching it, even as a kid, I always liked Return of the Jedi better than I liked Empire Strikes Back. Because again, as I said,
Well,
it's
why don't you put that on the list then,
because
Zach?
that's the trilogy. That's the third installment. Not
But
the.
you put Indy 3 on there.
I explained it during my introduction. Chronologically, Last Crusade comes after Raiders. Temple of Doom is the prequel to Raiders. It just came out after. Per the
That
story of Raiders, per the story of Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom happened before Raiders. It's technically a prequel. You didn't know that? Yeah, you didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that. Yeah, you didn't know that.
You didn't know that. But yeah, anyways, uh,
Lo-
yeah, I just freaking it just
Okay,
doesn't.
well,
It never
I
really
mean we
moved me. It really
we
never
have to
moved
agree
me.
upon it. We know what's at number one. That's fine. We can talk
I'd like
about
to.
that.
We can talk about
That's
that.
fine.
Absolutely, I'd love to talk about that.
But 2, 3, and 4, we're kind of at a standstill.
Yeah, I'm okay
No,
with putting Terminator.
I
I'm
had
okay with putting
T2.
T2 at 2. I'm okay with that.
I had it at 3. I actually put Empire at 2.
Jesus, man. Well, you haven't really.
You know, I'm not even a Star Wars
I
fan,
know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you,
but
what?
it is, if we're going to categorize
But what did the
what
movie
we're
do
talking
to
about
you? How do
according to the
you
pod.
feel about it? I don't care what the culture. I'm considering what. How do you feel about the movie? What did it do for
Well,
you that made you think that it should be at number 2?
well,
Because 2 was like it
because
blows you away. Like holy shit, this is like the one of the greatest movies of all time, and I don't get that
nope, that's
vibe
not what
from
we're
it.
talking about, though, Zach. Our category that we are discussing and debating right now
It's the
is the
best
best
sequel, but
sequels.
that's a part of that is how good of a movie it is. It doesn't matter because yeah, as I said, I don't think Empire is better than 1. I don't care what the argument is. You can't say that these group of people say that Empire Strikes Back is the greatest, and then say, "Oh, I think it's the greatest. I'm going to put it at number 2." Like, how do
Well, I don't
you
care what the
feel about
people
it?
say. Okay, the people. We can talk about the people.
No, we can talk about the people. Oh shit! I'm just saying. I'm not going to put a movie high because other like there's something out there that says it should be. Like, is it like
I'm not
how did you
influenced by
feel about
outside forces, Zach, and
it? Oh,
whether
force
it's the
yeah,
force be with
the
you or
force.
the
Yeah.
force not with you. But okay, well, I
Okay.
think we
Okay.
just nailed it
Okay.
then.
Whatever.
It-
Whatever.
okay, they fuck you in the drive-through. I mean, I would be willing to compromise because again, I really don't fucking care about Star Wars.
I thought you loved it. I'm just kidding.
You love Star Wars more than I do. The original 3, let's be honest, 4,
Yes,
5,
you are
6, quote
absolutely
unquote,
right.
whatever.
Yes,
I enjoy watching The Dark Knight more than I enjoy watching Empire Strikes Back.
there we go.
So
And it's
then
it's
we're gonna
and well,
put Empire at 4,
okay, that's fine.
and then we're gonna put Dark Knight at 3,
Okay,
and then we're gonna put T2 at 2
yeah, that's I mean, shit,
because
that fits, man.
I mean it surpasses the original Terminator.
Oh, absolutely.
T2 is definitely, and that's what I'm saying here. Like you kind of made the argument a little bit ago about is Empire better than the first Star Wars? No, I don't think it is better than that, but I do think it surpasses some most of the other movies on our list as a better sequel. But T2 literally is better than the first one.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. In my mind, it's not even an
It-
argument, in my
it's a
opinion.
better story, it's better dialogue. I'm not old enough to remember,
We were pups. We were pups.
how they did the previews, and they kind of made it seem like Arnold was still kind of the bad guy, but he was still kind of
Mhm,
cool.
mhm.
And then once you got in the movie, even in that scene in the hallway
Yep.
where he has the roses, and then he pulls it out, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna kill John Connor right here.
Yeah.
And you think maybe both the Terminators are gonna kill him, and then come up with me if you want to live.
Get down.
Yeah, get down. you know,
Well,
it's
and
it, it's such a it's such a better movie than the
oh, yeah.
original Terminator.
Well, and the biker, he's dressed as the bad guy. He's got the biker shit on. Robert Patrick, he's got the cop. I mean, that's naturally
Right.
you think the freaking cop's supposed to be the freaking hero. It turns out,
Well,
and
and
it's
that
like,
kind of plays into pop culture at the time, where
yeah, yeah,
the LA riots, things like that. People were kind
hmm
of against cops, so that was kind of in the research. You could see where James Cameron had originally had him being a cop, and then everything was going on. It's like, hey, people are kind of against cops right now. So what if we had the bad guy in a cop
yeah,
uniform?
yeah. Shit, I didn't
And
even
then
think.
his star-studded reprisal of the role in
Hmm
Wayne's World. Have you seen this child? No. But I mean,
Oh shit.
I mean, the cinematography. Obviously, the technology and filmmaking had
hmm
progressed a lot more from 1 to 2.
And he got more
And
money to make it. I think it was the first $100 million budget in cinema. I think. I,
right,
I think
and
so.
I mean, it is a phenomenal movie. If you're gonna, you were talking about rewatchables. We don't like to plug from them too much, but that is a movie, Terminator 2, where if it is on cable or it's on HBO or whatever, and you're flipping channels, whatever part of the movie is, you're gonna
You're
tune in.
watching it. Yeah, yeah,
Like you
absolutely.
can come in at any time, whether they're the LA River, when he's in the, god damn it,
I like the biker bar. Shit, man, I'll watch.
that's the first
Yeah,
scene. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
like
one of
give
the
me your
first. Yeah,
clothes.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
No,
It just takes a
when he's
shotgun
in the,
with him. Yeah.
when they're going in, it's like this is my family from out of town, and I just want to give them a tour. And the
Oh
security
yeah.
guard's like, you know the rules, you can't do that. it, Arnold just like shoots him in the leg, like,
Yeah,
nah, we're
yeah.
gonna
He
go
does.
in
He
there.
shoots him in the leg. Right, right. Yeah, he'll live.
And then the whole thing with Edward Furlong, how he was casted.
Yeah,
James Cameron
it's
saw him outside that one club.
yeah, and you just don't, and you can't really. It has to be mentioned how impressive it actually was, or how impressive Arnold's performance was, because he did a lot of shit keeping a straight face, and that
Yeah,
is not fucking easy. And I know
yeah,
he
and
obviously.
I'll
Go
go to
ahead.
bat for Arnold Schwarzenegger as an actor, because a lot of people denigrate him as an actor. Well, he's not really that good of an actor. He was an Austrian who had this thick accent, so of course they're gonna cast him as a robot who only
Hmm
has to say a few words. But there are the scenes with you know John Connor, Edward Furlong, who's like, and then you can make combinations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, something, something, dickhead. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, and he does have to do a lot, honestly, as an actor. He has to do a lot. And it
Mhm.
doesn't look like he's doing a lot, but you're keeping the straight face and you're having to do these line deliveries as a robot,
Yeah. Yeah.
but also, you're learning, you're a T2, a T1000 or whatever he is, and you still have to act like that. I think he gets a lot of bullshit for his acting, and then we could talk about Twins another day.
Yeah. Yeah. Twins.
Okay,
Save that one for another one.
so and then now we've come to number one, unanimous decision, Godfather 2, arguably the best movie of all time, Zach.
That's definitely arguable. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
You'll never
that's
convince me of
something
that.
that we argue about. Godfather 2 at number one. We've already talked about Godfather 2 on this podcast, so we don't have to go too much into it. Um, I think
I
Zach and
actually
I talked about on the first pod that we
70s.
talked about it in the 70s pod, where maybe Godfather 1 is a more enjoyable, more rewatchable movie.
No,
It's
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 just a better.
funnier,
It's
it's
just a better
it's
movie.
lighter, but Godfather 2 I think is the more well-crafted and better acted movie.
What? What? Who
We've
the
already
fuck's a better actor in Godfather 2 than 1? John Cazale, maybe. Like
Yeah, okay. Boom.
But
You just
Robert
made my
Duvall's
argument.
barely in the damn movie.
He is in it quite a bit more. Banana Daiquiri, Zach.
Yeah, that's what I said. John Cazale's freaking terrific. He outperforms Pacino, in my opinion.
How do you
I
say
love his
how
performance.
do you say banana daiquiri in Spanish?
Banana Daiquiri. Why don't we do this? What does he say? Why don't we do more of this
Why did we do this
before?
before?
Well, yeah, that's it. Why don't we do this before?
I'm fucking smart.
Not like everybody says.
Like dumb.
Dude, he's like shaking, dude. He's trembling.
It's
Oh, that's
great.
such a
And
good scene.
then, obviously the
Take care of me. Dude,
I'm your older brother, Mike, and I was passed over.
that ain't how I wanted it.
That's how I wanted it. It's just I
I
mean
get it, man. It's
it
got great
brings a
scenes.
lot of the storylines from the first one full circle. Obviously the last scene, where famously
Tragically, yeah.
yeah, he's not in it and he could have been in it. He didn't show up that day.
He wanted too much money, dude.
Well,
Good
it's
old
fine. I mean, you're gonna
Brando.
reprise your
Yeah.
role for one fucking scene and you want like $100,000, whatever.
He became a pretty greedy motherfucker after that. So
Yeah, I think one of his next movies was Island of Dr. Moreau. No, it wasn't
no,
even close to
he
one of
was
his.
he was in Last Tango after the
I
first
know, I know,
Godfather. Yeah,
I
that's
know. It's fine.
one of his best roles actually.
But obviously, we both knew where Godfather 2 was going to show up.
I
It
didn't want
was
to put
number
it.
2 on our
I didn't want to put
70s.
it. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it was number
Godfather 1,
3.
Godfather 2.
Part 2
Oh,
was number
did we
3 on
put
our
Cuckoo?
series.
Do we put Cuckoo at number 2?
We put Chinatown at 2. Yeah.
Oh, you're goddamn right we did.
I know. I should have fought harder for Cuckoos. It's one of
No,
my biggest
you shouldn't.
regrets. My biggest
We can
regrets.
go back and listen. I made very good points.
No, your only point was that you like Noir better. That was it. I edited the fucking thing.
That was not it.
I'm telling you, we didn't
A
really argue.
sadistic nurse between a pedophilic or whatever
I'm just, yeah. I mean, it's
bad
not,
guy. Like,
dude.
we're not going to rehash it.
I
We're
love
not, yeah.
Cuckoo's Nest so fucking much, dude. Such a
Whoever's listening still after 59 minutes, go
we're making
back,
pretty good
listen
time.
to our
We're making
70s
good time.
pod. It was fantastic. One of our best, honestly.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement with these top 10. I'm going to recap now. We're going to close the pod out. We're at about an hour. We are
Well,
in an hour.
before we do the countdown, before we rehash, can I ask? Like, I know why I don't think Godfather Part 2 is the greatest, and it's definitely just a personal preference. It's because I don't think it has any likable characters, maybe except freaking Frankie Five Fingers. I like that character.
What does likable characters have anything to do?
like I said, it's personal. It's just you can't. I can't enjoy a movie without not. I don't like anybody that I'm watching. You know what I mean? There has to be
Okay,
some
so
type of
this goes back to our
tenderness.
original argument that we've had many times. Do you like the movie or is it a good movie?
Well, I fucked myself over because I didn't want to put it at one, but the very first notes I had from the '70s pod was the first sentence was greatest sequel of all time. So I had to
Well, there you
forget.
go.
Yeah. So
Okay, let me ask you this. In the movie Memento, do you like any of those characters? Are any of those characters good
I haven't
people?
seen Memento.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No shit. I feel the same way about The Social Network. I don't like anybody in that movie, and that's probably why I don't like it that much.
And but can you argue it's not a great movie?
Oh, I like it. It's just like I said, you'll never see me put it on there because in the end, like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's
That's one
kind
of
of
my
it's,
favorite.
it's an itch I can't scratch, and it's going to affect how I rank a movie. And I do see. I mean, I see this movie is one of the greatest. I just don't
Thank you.
like it as much. I don't even think it. I don't even think it comes as close to one. I guess I don't like it
Well,
as much
I
as
mean,
one.
this is a whole different conversation we can have on a different pod. Whatever we want to do, whatever you want to name it.
Well,
Movies we don't like but are good or something. But just because a movie has characters you don't particularly like doesn't mean the movie is not good.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a preference thing. Yeah,
We had a
we made a really
seven
good
we had a
time.
7 minute tangent there.
Well, can we go back because I kind of told you, other than Frankie Five Fingers and what where my opinion lies with Godfather 2 and not putting it under the pedestal of greatest movies of all time. Why do you think it's the greatest movie of all time?
We
Or
already
one of
hashed
them.
this out
Or
last
one
time
of
on the
them.
spot. Well,
Just
Don, because in number one, it's like, oh wow, he's the Godfather. I'm sure nobody watching it in 1972 was thinking, oh well, I wonder how Don Corleone came to power. But you and I, as watching it as young moviegoers in the early 2000s,
hmm
I was thinking about, like, well, how did this guy become? And it's just such a good movie making ploy
yeah,
to
the
say, hey, we had this great character in Godfather 1. Let's go back and see how he was able to become, even in the first scene of the first movie, it's like, Don Corleone, this is America.
I Believe in America. Yeah.
And then for Coppola to think, well, let's go back and find
hmm
out exactly how Vito came into power. And the whole, black hat character,
Yeah, yeah.
that sequence alone, where Robert De Niro was following him on the rooftops, and
Yeah,
then
I like that scene.
unscrews the light bulb,
hmm hmm
like that's classic. And the scene before that, where he's eating dinner with his two
Yeah,
compadres,
yeah,
who see him as kind of the dimwit of the three. They're like, yeah, let us handle this, Vito. Like,
yeah,
you don't really
yeah.
know.
You don't know the neighborhood. Yeah, you don't know how things are done. Yeah, that's
I'll
yeah,
take care of it.
yeah,
I'll take care of it.
yeah.
And
It's
and you see that, and it kind of that's why I love two. Not only because the Al Pacino character arc coming full circle from number one, which again
mhm.
I'll mention the number one, but I would say if you're asking me, don't mention number one, just talk about number two. You could have done a whole movie of just Robert De Niro as Vito coming up.
Yeah, that's. I think that's where most people stand with it. It's that the mix between sequel and prequel, and the way it's shot. The prequel's shot in a difference, kind of like a foggy lens or whatever, and then not
Yeah, it's got that.
you're watching Vito rise as you see Michael fall morally, I guess, or whatever. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, I get
circling
it.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
didn't
was
mean to put you
circling
on the
that.
spot, Jaaron. I was
No, no,
kind of
no.
curious because I don't think we ever, like, I don't know if we dove into it even this much in the 70s pod because we were just trying to get through movies, but we're actually making really good time in this episode. So I was like, well, fuck it. Let's talk about it a
Well,
little
I
bit.
know we've spent too much time in the past talking about the movies that we introduce before we actually debate, and I
Yeah.
think we did a really good job of that. And that's what season 2 brings you, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what season two brings. A shorter version of the average jives. We're a little more, what do you say, succinct? Is that what you say?
That is a word, yes.
That is a word. You didn't use it
Succinct.
right, but still.
Yeah. No, you used it correctly. Just we're going to stir things up. We're going to be more succinct. We're not going to
Yeah.
have 90-minute pods moving forward.
No, yeah, as long as
But
we go
okay,
this
all right.
well, yeah, this smoothly, yeah.
So again, those unfamiliar with the format, now that we've backtracked 13 minutes, we talked about Godfather 2 and 1, which Godfather 1 wasn't even on this pod.
Mhm, mhm.
Now that we've introduced, discussed, debated, came up with our 10, I'm going to recap our top 10 for the best sequels of all time, and then we'll close it out with fuck. That's a wrap.
You come back tomorrow.
All right. At number 10, I don't think anybody expected this to even be on the pod. A few dollars more. Number 9, with an asterisk, Color of Money. Number 8, Road Warrior. Number 7, Indy 3. Number 6, Back to the Future 2. Number 5, Lethal Weapon 2. Number 4, controversial, Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars 5 or 2, however you want to call it.
5 for 2.
Dark Knight coming in with the bronze. Terminator 2 coming in at number 2. And then our best sequel of all time, Godfather 2 at number 1.
You know what movie we
Zach,
didn't talk
any
about?
last words? Any last thoughts? Any last arguments you want to
We
try to
didn't
make?
we didn't talk about Indiana Jones at all going through it. But I'll just put my 2 cents in. The reason I had it at
Yeah.
7 was I just thought there was too many freaking uh, chase sequences. Like how many times can you get chased around Europe? You know what I mean? So, but
Well,
that's
and the reason I had it so low is because it's technically a third, not a sequel. We didn't really
it's
talk
on here
about the
as a technical.
parameters.
Yeah, we talked about it on a technicality. It made it in. Same with Color of Money. Same with a few dollars
It's
more.
not the
It's
same color
technical.
money or a few dollars more at all. It's very different.
No, it's what are you talking about? We
Well,
cannot
then
get
Return
into
of the
this thing.
Jedi should have made it instead of Empire.
No, what are you, dude? What? Oh, okay. Color of Money happens after the Hustler, right?
Yes, 60 years, 30 years later. Yes.
Empire Strikes Back happens after Star Wars,
Yeah.
and technically,
No, no, no.
chronologically, Indiana Jones and Last Crusade happens after Raiders. Temple of Doom is a prequel. It just happened to come. It just happened to be the second movie. But Indiana Jones
Yes.
Temple of Doom is a sequel, which makes Last Crusade the true sequel. Or did I say
Are
Doom
you
is the
listening to
prequel?
yourself right now?
Yeah, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom
No.
is the prequel. Last Crusade is the sequel. It made it in. Same with a few dollars more happened after a fistful of dollars.
Okay, but according to when the movies were released,
That's not what I'm talking about. It's the
well,
sequel. It's the
there's
continuation
the
of the story.
continuation. There's that word that I used, color money. It's technically not a sequel, it's a continuation of the story.
That's what a sequel is. But
Well, you just said, okay.
it's all right. We won't have to worry about it. It's probably the biggest technical difficulty we'll
Okay.
have as far as the
Indiana
technical
Jones
goes.
at number 10. A few dollars more at 9.
No, no. We're keeping it at 70, Jive Turkey.
Okay. Well, these are things we should discuss prior to the debate and ranking in the future. I don't think we're going to have another one like this.
It's really, you're making it gray, and it's actually just more black and white. From
It's really
from my perspective, it's just black and white. If it happens after the movie, the original, then it's a sequel.
okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap this up. Zach and I are going to argue about this for a little bit longer once we get off the pod, because I think this same argument might come up in our next pod, which is the greatest horror movies of all time. When Zach and I were talking about our top 5 for each to come up with our top 10, we realized there's a lot of horror movies. So we're actually going to do a 2-part, just like we did comedy. So we'll actually have 20 horror movies coming up. This will be released after our long debate about what makes a sequel or not after we get off the pod. We appreciate you liking, following, and commenting, sharing the Average Jives on Facebook, on YouTube, on maybe Instagram. I don't know if Zach's up on that, our producer.
You follow it. You should
I
know.
do. I have followed it. But
Yeah,
this
we got it.
concludes the first episode of season 2 of the Average Jives. Again, we don't claim to be critics or smart people at all, but we're 2 friends from back in the day who love talking about movies. And this is our podcast called The Average Jives. Again, like us, follow us, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. We will be back in about a week or 2 with our best horror movies.
Horror. Yeah. All right.
Horror. Horror.
Take care, everybody.
Wrap. It's a wrap. Come back tomorrow. Fuck.